right, welcome everybody. I mean nobody because there's nobody watching it, but welcome back to Chef Life Live. I am your host, Chef Alex Ottusch, and thank you so much for joining us again. I have the distinct pleasure to introduce two of my very good friends who are from Jacksonville, Florida, Chason and Maria, and they're going to be telling us a little about their experience in the food service industry and what it's really all about. So I will bring them on now and we'll get to know them. Welcome, Chason and Maria.
How are we doing?
How are you guys doing tonight?
Pretty good.
Good. Awesome.
Day off, still working. Gotta love it.
That's good. All right. Do you guys just want to introduce yourselves a little bit? Tell us a little about yourselves.
So I'm Maria. I'm originally from Ecuador. I moved here for around 9 years ago. And
All right.
I've been in the industry for 7 years now. Okay. Yeah.
7 years.
7 years.
Huh?
Going strong.
I'm Chason. I'm originally from Cocoa Beach, Florida. A little bit further, like Central Florida, a little bit further south. But moved to Jacksonville in like 2011 for college. Been here ever since, and yeah, loving it.
It's good. Great. So you guys, been in the industry for a little while. And Chason, you said you came here for school. Is that culinary school?
Yeah, for culinary school.
Oh, same.
Okay.
Yeah.
Same. You guys both went to culinary school in Jacksonville?
Yep.
What school was it?
We met in culinary school. It was in art institutes.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay. Very cool. And as far as culinary school goes, do you think it's important for young cooks to go to culinary school, or do you think it's a little easier just to get right to the industry?
Good.
I say for me will be like it's easier just to get on the industry and learn. Like I learn more from the industry than from school. Like I make good connections in school, I guess. But what I learn is from work, from school. I was terrible in school though, so
I like the business side of it, and I got to learn more of the paperwork side that you do learn on the job, but through years of experience. As we're there, it's a lot of hypothetical stuff, but you still kind of get a basis of how to do it. So if you have to make a business plan or anything like that, or kind of get a base number for like how to do numbers, you can do that, and I like that more. I learned everything for cooking pretty much from working.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Definitely. Are there what's some of the best foods that you guys have eaten lately, or some of your best foods, favorite foods of all time anyways?
Rue, not a new restaurant, but one of our favorite restaurants in Jacksonville. We did their experience like a month or two back.
Yeah.
It was 5 courses, very affordable. It's like French comfort food, but well done. And he uses a lot of seasonality, like changes the menu probably every 2 weeks.
Oh wow.
And it was very good. I thought it was like comparable to some Michelin restaurants I've been to.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'd say so.
Yeah. And
yeah.
Go ahead.
No, you're good.
That and
We've been eating a lot at home, bro. Like honestly, like we have a lot. I mean, we eat a lot of fast food lately. I feel like
really
fast food.
It's, not fast food, but like just like picking up food.
Quick
like,
stuff. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't really.
Not like fast food, but like
just pick up.
Yeah, pick up.
Yeah.
Food, man.
That's
delicious. Yeah.
Of course. Now I know that you guys have been in Jacksonville for a while now, and I know that you have visited Chicago in the past. So off of your brief experience in Chicago versus the time you've lived in Jacksonville, which one's better?
Food-wise?
We'll go food-wise. Obviously, you live in Jacksonville, so probably like living in Jacksonville, but.
Well, yeah. Well, I love Chicago. It was amazing, but I don't like the.
I would say if there was a city that I would live in, it would probably be Chicago. But
all right,
I do like what Jacksonville has to offer. Like it's a small town. And
I think it has a lot of potential, and I've been saying this for a place for years. We're gonna get started one day. It's like one day we're gonna be some good city, but we're not there yet.
Yeah,
at all.
Not there.
We're
yeah. I mean, Jacksonville is a great city. I lived there for 7 years, and it was really cool. I enjoyed it.
Where's Jacksonville?
Yeah,
lots of hope.
I mean, that makes sense. You got to be somewhat loyal to where you
And
live,
you
right?
wanna grow
Or
with
else,
the city, you know what I'm saying?
I thought I would
Right.
leave Jacksonville. Like we did leave when we traveled for that year, and
Mhm.
I definitely like I yearn for it. Like I was like I want to be back in Jacksonville. I want to help build there rather than just go to another city that's oversaturated with a bunch of talent, and it's very hard to make it anywhere.
That's very true.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, yeah, there's so many great cities that just don't get really the attention they deserve, and they're just full of talent
Yeah.
and good
There's a
food.
lot of
So
that.
Then like same in Jacksonville, like people has hustle. Like
Yeah.
people, some, not all of them, but like the good workers that you meet, they have hustle. They like they move, you know.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, I brag about Jacksonville all the time. Is that if you know where to look in Jacksonville, there's really good food.
Yeah, exactly. If you know where to look, if you got a good cook with you or a good local with you, then they can show you some good spots that you like definitely won't be disappointed. Like that's
Right.
And
well, if
compared to
there's
the city,
right. Well, if any of you watching out there, if you're ever in Jacksonville, look up Chason Maria, and they can show you around, show you a good time.
we'll give you a
We're
good
off
time.
Mondays and Tuesdays.
Where do you guys find your inspirations for cooking? Is it more chefs, restaurants, family members? Like, where does it really come from for you guys?
It's more of like everything around me.
Mhm.
If you want to be, as easy as possible. But really, it could be anything. I just the way I think about food is I kind of apply it to everything. Not that I'm always doing something with food, but like I just try to put my cook's perspective on anything I'm doing, and maybe something good will come out of it.
For me, it's lately more than everything, I think it's because of Chancho. It's very nostalgic. Like it comes a lot from like my roots, my culture, my family, my grandma. It's like 24/7. The past 2 years, I've been cooking like that, like not restaurant wise, just like family wise, and it's working just like perfect.
Yeah.
Humble food is probably one of our biggest inspirations.
You just apply some like, kitchen education to it, and it's fucking beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's how most like fine dining food came from humble beginnings, like of something was considered to be common food and then just got raised up to be the greatness that it is today, whatever it might be. But what would you guys say is your most, I'm sorry, what were you going to say?
No, you're
What would you say is your most essential kitchen tool besides your knife?
Man, I thought about this when you sent it to me the other day, and I still haven't. I would probably say my spoon. You would say spoon, but I also thought about a timer.
Timer, that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
One good serving spoon. One
good serving spoons.
Yeah.
Spoons make sense. I mean,
spoons.
In a restaurant during service, if you don't have some good spoons laying around, it can make or break your service for sure.
Yeah,
absolutely.
It makes me a little bit of everything as well. Like I can cook most things with like a spoon, a knife, and a pan. Like that's it.
A spoon.
Or just a spoon.
Just a spoon. Yeah. Do you have? I mean, you guys have worked in a lot of different restaurants, both here in the States and overseas. Did you have like a dish that was like just horribly painful for you to have to prepare or like prep out or even serve?
Oh, man. About every dish. So we work in a restaurant called Gusto in Bolivia. It's an amazing restaurant. Like that's probably one of my favorite restaurants that I work. But literally everything there, like every plate requires so much prep. Like from like the ingredients that they bring you is from like straight from the Amazons to like with everything. Like you have to hours prepping for like maybe one thing on the plate. Like every little plate was like that. Yeah. It's beautiful, but it's like hours and hours of prepping for like
Yeah.
I think that, but we had a peel Brazilian nuts.
Oh yeah.
To make Brazilian peeling with your
I don't think I've ever had to peel a Brazilian nut.
It wasn't.
It sucks. Let me tell you.
It wasn't enjoyable.
Or like taking a snack section, you take a sponge and you have to rub the outside of like small vegetables so that the skin is gone. Those things, that's not too bad.
It's not bad. Like it's not bad. Everything just together. You start thinking. I'm like, man, like I spent like almost half of my shift doing these Brazilian nuts because they bring you pounds.
Right.
You know, it's like.
I hated.
Yeah.
I didn't hate, but there was one dish that used a hot foam, and hot foams deflate very quickly. And if one thing goes wrong, right when you put it into, it was into a little egg actually, a little whole like hollowed out eggshell, and if it's sat for a second too long, sorry, our dog is needing attention.
That's okay.
But it would you have to restart, and those little things throw off service.
Yeah, that is tough.
Yeah.
I think we've all been there with one thing or another that's just like monotonous or just extremely time consuming. So definitely understand where you guys are coming from there. So you guys have a nice little cooking demo for us, right? What are you guys going to be preparing?
We're
showing us today
our pork sandwich.
All right.
In Chancho King. Let me toast the bread real quick, and then I can. Maybe we got
so we have a business. Name is Chancho King, and we do pork sandwiches. It's like street food from Ecuador, pretty much. This sandwich, pretty much, I feel like whole South America have this like roast pork sandwich. It changes by country. This is our version of it. And
okay.
That's our main thing that we sell. So we'll do a pork.
Very cool.
Yeah, if you give me like 2 minutes, I'll have the bread toasted.
2 minutes.
Yeah.
All right, no problem.
I mean,
absolutely. No problem. All right, well, I'll just continue with some questions unless any of our guests out there have any questions for our guests here. Feel free to answer them or feel free to ask in the chat. But let's see what we got here. When did you guys, I guess, make the decision that you wanted to be a chef professionally?
For me, I honestly didn't even like it till I started working on it. So I had like my first good service. Then I'm like, okay, I'm good, Then I just moved forward for it and like just work a lot and got better and better, and then I loved it. And, like, probably around 22, 23, I think.
I don't know exactly when. I know my mom kind of pushed me to decide what I wanted to do when I was younger, and that helped because I chose which high school to go to for a hospitality program and stuff. So I knew I wanted to do something in hospitality. My thinking was cooking, but I didn't really know what I was going to do. And then, as I got into Jacksonville and started learning like cooking places and restaurants, I just always thought I'm going to work for the best one in town and go from there. And so I started, once I got into Orsay, it was just like, all right, let's figure it out from here. And Orsay's probably, that's one of the best restaurants in Jacksonville. Hands down.
I would definitely agree with you there. Orsay is pretty amazing for sure.
Yeah.
They gave me the foundation and the groundwork for learning and wanting to be an actual chef or cook.
Yeah.
And do it properly. Like I hate it when some restaurants they don't teach you like the proper groundwork and the proper foundation, and you go into the world and you never really seem to get it. But when you really get hounded to always have a standard and do certain things a certain way, I think it can really build a love for cooking in you. If that makes sense.
No, it does make sense.
All right, the bread is ready. We're ready.
Bread is ready. All right. Well, then we are going to officially kick off our cooking demo.
All
right. I'll leave it to you guys to kind of walk us through what's happening here.
Look at that. Boom.
Nice little home cook setup. That's great.
I know. I wish I could. I'll actually take a picture and send it to you.
I left the jars there just because we just bought them. They're my new hot sauce jars.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Very cool.
All right, we'll get to use them tomorrow. I got like 4 or 5 hot sauces going right now.
What kinds?
One is with daddle peppers, which is local from here. One's a Dorset Naga, which is a British pepper, but it was also grown right in our neighborhood, like a farm in our neighborhood, and we bought with them. And then I have two base ones that are like our base for all of our like condiments here. One's like a mild one, which is jalapenos and serranos, and one's with habaneros and serranos. And then yeah, I don't know.
I mean, it sounds good.
Maybe get from over there.
Careful, don't move it.
All right.
Yeah, you guys are good.
Bread, regular. It's actually a Cuban style loaf. It's vegan, so we can put mushrooms in it for our mushroom and keep a vegan sandwich. We just lightly toast it so that the outside gets nice and crunchy and the inside is nice and soft. For me, there's nothing better than nice, fresh toasted bread. We leave one side attached. We dunk usually like one side, like the top or the bottom, in the jus, just to give it. I'll make sure it's always nice and juicy. There's no dryness there. We always leave the pork butt whole while we're doing it. We pretty much never break it down until the end. We reuse the bones. We reuse the skin. We pretty much use all the pork in it. And if we're ever doing something where we're cooking with fat, we'll just render the fat out of these as well, and we can use that. But we pretty much get like an 80 to 90% yield out of it, just because we try and use everything we possibly can.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Waste not, right?
Yeah. And
for our viewers who are watching who don't know a lot of the cooking terminology, you said you render the fat from the pork shoulder. Could you explain what that is?
Yeah, rendering is just, cooking the fat out from a solid state to a liquid state, and then reusing that fat that's been liquefied to cook, future dishes or whatever you may be. But generally, we'll cook potatoes inside the fat of the pork. We know how to.
Yeah, sorry for the dogs, everyone who's watching. A little rambunctious,
One of
but
my favorites. So I have the whole top right here. I don't know if you can see it very well.
a little bit in the corner there, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if you want to bring the computer closer, Marie. Shine it right on this. Other way. There you go. So I have.
No, that's good.
Yeah, we lift up the skin like this, and we use that to keep the meat from going dry too, while we have it hot. And then one of my favorite spots actually comes right from here. It's this little like corner nugget, and like that's always the best little first bite for anybody. But from there, the last few things that we do, we have a tomato ahi, which is a bit like more mild. We just kind of cover the whole thing in it. We have a spicier one that is that hot sauce base I was telling you. It's about 50%, 50% hot sauce base and 50% roasted red peppers. And we put that on there as well. Lime pickled red onions.
You say lime pickled red onions?
Yeah, literally lime salted onions. Like it's one of the most common yeah, you've seen them before. We always used to put them on everything, fried rice.
Oh yeah.
This is very typical.
Yeah, they're definitely. Yeah, it's for people who are watching. If you like, it's kind of like a quick pickling process, but since it's so simple, and you don't need to bring anything up to a boil. It's literally just lime juice and salt, and it's absolutely delicious for onions.
And you give them, you can eat them right away within an hour or, the next day. And generally in 24 hours, they get this like really nice pink, like fluorescent pink. I don't know if you can see it. You can kind of see it from there in the video.
Yeah, you definitely can.
It's awesome how it really shines. It makes a lot of things shine in the sandwich just because it adds like an extra bit of like saltiness to it. It's more flavor.
Absolutely. My mom would like to know how you prepare the pork.
Our pork, you want to explain, Maria? You want me to? All right. Our pork, we marinate for 36 hours, and from there it's a very salty brine. Most people, when they brine their pork or any sort of meat, it's a 2 to 3% brine with from salt to water ratio, and we use a 5 to 6%, so it's a little bit stronger because I want I remember when I first started doing this for Chancho King, I was like, I really would like the bones to be flavored too. You know, I don't want to just flavor the meat. I want everything to have flavor. So that way when we reuse it, we get more flavor out of it. And so after that, we cook it for about 12 hours at nice slow and low, around 235, 240. And I can pretty much tell when it's done by when I touch it. It just has no get. It just has no, like, doesn't fight back pretty much. And then
Well, it looks amazing.
Thank you. So then
if you guys want to see, I'm sorry.
The chicharron. I was gonna point that out there, and then this is I can bring that closer to you.
That's Chancho King sandwich.
That's our.
I mean, that's a good looking pork sandwich for sure.
Yeah, that's our pork sandwich. It's quite delicious. Do I need to take a bite of it, or what should I do? Would you?
I think you should take a bite of it. I think our viewers would like to see you really dig into that.
Nice, delicious.
I mean, it definitely looks delicious. If you guys want to find out more about Chancho King, look them up on Facebook, Instagram. All their posts look awesome. I cannot wait to get down to Jacksonville to actually try it for myself. But it looks very amazing.
When I'm pretty much whenever I'm working, I eat a sandwich just about every day. I love it. We always talk about it as some of the guys we have one location in a brewery in Jacksonville here in town. It's called Ardwell, and it's one of my favorite breweries. They kill it for in terms of good beer, and all the bartenders they love food as well, and we pretty much all eat a sandwich every single day that they work and I work, and we talk about never getting sick of it. Just like I was like, the day that I get sick of this will be the day that I stop. Kind of like Roy Choi said, you know, like I just keep on going.
Right.
And
for sure.
Never did.
You gotta watch your salt intake though, you know.
Oh, I know.
It's tough. I know.
Yeah. Hopefully, it doesn't catch up with me later. It's
hopefully not. Right? Yeah. Young forever. Don't have to worry about that. All right. Well, thank you for showing us that. Like I said, it looks awesome. And I cannot wait to get down to Jacksonville eventually to see you guys and actually get to eat it. So
I know it's I can't wait for like friends like when you can come into town and actually try it. Her family's coming into town and they're gonna actually finally try it.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
That's awesome. That'll be fun. All right. Well, we're just gonna keep going into some more questions here. And these are going to be questions that require no garnish. All right. So a lot of chefs are, I don't want to say obsessed, but the Michelin Guide and the San Pellegrino Top 50 have a lot of hold on a lot of cities and restaurants and chefs and everything. What effects do you think it has on chefs, like these rating systems as Michelin? Like, do you think there has a good effect on them, negative effect? You know, how do you feel it affects our industry?
I think it has a good and bad impact.
Yeah.
I think it over the time has created a standard for what is, you know, excellence and creating a base for, you know, cooks in restaurants around the world. And it really does, like most of those restaurants that are on those lists are absolutely delicious. But I also believe that there could be a political side behind it that people can, I don't know if they buy their way in, but they, you know, they're a part of the club kind of deal. Mm-hmm. If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, that totally makes sense. I mean, I feel like with most things, there's like the political side to it. It's who you know kind of stuff, but
yeah. But I think it definitely has. I wish there was more welcoming for like even the smallest of people. And I guess that's really hard for one list or two lists to catch every single restaurant in the world. But I wish they wouldn't shy out certain cities just because there's not really much going on. There's certain places in certain cities that, you know, are comparable to the best restaurants in the world, and you're like, well, I don't even know why. Maybe they don't want to be, you know.
Yeah, and that's cool.
Yeah, that is.
Kind of working for somebody else.
Yeah.
Some bullshit.
Yeah, I don't like the fact that you have to follow a certain. if you're not a certain way, then you just lose it, and then you could lose your business because people don't see you as good anymore. I know every one of those chefs do like follow those things. They work their ass off. So I don't see taking away their business. You know, that's not fair.
Right. Do you think that Jacksonville needs a Michelin rating system?
Well, I don't think we're there yet, but it would be nice. You know, it would be nice just to be.
Not even Florida has a Michelin.
Yeah, like Miami. Like if all Florida had one, and we can kind of compare between the cities, that would be really neat. Because there is people that even on the James Beard, we've had a couple of chefs in town that have got James Beard nominations. So that's saying something.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you know, I'd love to see if a Michelin inspector came into this town, what they would say. You know, I don't. You know.
Well, yeah, what they would want.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I would imagine some of them probably have been through. I'm sure they've gotten word about some pretty awesome restaurants, especially in Miami and Jacksonville.
Mhm.
And you know, it's sad to see if some of those places are overlooked, but
Yeah.
it's kind of tough. Do you guys live by a certain guide that you try to follow, like the Michelin guide or in the San Pellegrino top 50?
I live by like just a good cooking standard. You know, always be conscious about where you're cooking, where it's from, how the quality of the ingredient, being respectful to it. Which was instilled in a Michelin restaurant to me, and also at Orsay, which I keep at the highest regard. But I don't think I necessarily like follow one, or like when the Michelin book comes out every year, I don't go and look at it. I definitely follow the 51st best. Like as soon as the list comes out, you're like, oh, who is on top?
Right. Yeah, it's always interesting when both the guide comes out, especially here in Chicago, to know about.
I think it's a thing.
What new restaurants in Chicago?
I mean, our industry, that's like our Grammys. So you definitely want to see what's going on.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
But it's fun to see new restaurants that do come out that you want to try. It's like, oh, finally, they definitely deserve that and stuff.
Yeah.
I wish,
So
I freaking wish I could go to Singapore. They're like that looks like an amazing place to eat right now. You know,
Yeah.
Have every good restaurant. I even go back to Chicago and just eat at the places we didn't get to go to.
Yeah, there are plenty in Chicago that don't have Michelin ratings and do that are just absolutely incredible.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm just kind of. What image of restaurants and the like our chef life do you think Food Network and Chef's Table like portray, and how honest do you really think it is?
The Food Network, I don't think it portrays anything about the chef life.
I mean,
I don't watch much Food Network. Honestly.
Yeah, I haven't watched Food Network in forever. I still like Top Chef, Bravo TV Top Chef. That seems like a badass competition. But the Chef's Table is just really neat because you get to meet chefs. Which chef is like being a chef or a cook has been, you know, this celebrity thing for the past 10 years, right? And getting to see a chef that's already made it and has that story behind him and has his struggles, and I think they haven't really shot anything about someone that's already like trying to do it because they're not anybody yet, you know.
But for me, it's cool. But at the same time, TV is TV. Like you don't know, you know what I'm saying? Like the shows, it's very dramatic and very It's TV, but yeah,
it's TV.
But as soon as the Chef's Table season comes out, I binge watch every episode until I
I mean, that makes sense.
Like before I even like talk about it, you know.
Right. Yeah, I still have to catch up on the barbecue one that just came out. I haven't finished that one yet, but
it's really good. Like even like watching those, what I get out of them, like that's a good going back to the inspirational question you said earlier. Like I'll watch those and get inspiration from them because, and it's not even from the chef's story, but I'll look at their kitchens that they're showing and taking videos of, and I'm like, I like that grill setup. I want that whole pig roaster one day. You know, like that. The things I'm thinking about when. Adding
to the wish list.
Adding to the wish list of like, okay, one day if we do make it, these are the things I'm going to get.
Absolutely. Do you think things like Chef's Table, even certain shows on Food Network, some are better than others. I'm not gonna lie, I love Diverse Dining and Drives. Like that's an awesome show. It's really cool to see a lot of like those type of places across the country and everything.
No, like we bench watch this like food truck competition for a little bit, and it's very fun.
Yeah,
it's like
it is fun to watch.
Like, I would kill it there. I was like, okay, kill it there. You know, like you know what?
Right.
Thinking about that is kind of fun.
Even one of our local chefs just won Top Chef or Chopped Desserts.
Oh yeah,
I saw that. Yeah, that was really cool.
It's fun to watch.
It is. Do you think shows like that though are spawning a more adventurous group of diners that want to seek out the
for sure
the
especially
ordinary style of food,
showing usually the wacky thing of a certain place. It's going to say, oh, I want to go eat that. I want to, and it could be something completely out there. And definitely.
And somebody find it.
Yeah.
It helps.
Someone drove.
It could help somebody's business, by a lot.
That would help our business if we were on one of those and they came to Jacksonville just to try our sandwich. That would be like detrimental to us,
Absolutely. I mean, obviously they have a wide reach, a wide audience, and it makes people want to travel. Unfortunately, due to current times, it does make it difficult to want to travel. But it is, it's good. And then as far as like, I guess Food Network is a little more responsible really for the spawn of the celebrity chef. And like, how do you feel that culture and how it's attracted more people to our industry for possibly the wrong reasons?
I think whoever is attracted to the industry for those reasons, they will quickly really realize that it don't need to be there.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, and if they stick it up, then it's for them. Like, that's cool. But like, whoever doesn't like to the first 3 years, you're out. So like, you know.
I'm sure being as where you were, you quickly see the people that get weeded out because they don't have it in them to work those hours or the pressure or whatever it may be.
It's like not having in them, but I think like a lot of people think okay, this is gonna be super fun. Come in, do service, and like fucking play with scissors and call it a day.
It's not quite like that.
No, at all. It's not that. You do that maybe for 5 minutes. It's a complete something. Cool.
Yeah. Now get that cool.
Yeah, but I mean.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely tough. I've met plenty of people that saw a show and like, oh, I can do that. And then you get there, like probably anything, and it's like, oh, this is like way different than what I thought it was.
That I could say that does suck that's come of that is the entitlement. Maybe that's just I've seen so many cooks that want to voice their opinion to their chef when it's just not needed. Like in you as the other like comrade or companion, like the person on the line with them, you're like, you just want to tell them to shut their fucking mouth, like just be quiet. That's not your opinion. Just put your head down and work. And but then generally they get eaten up when that. So.
That is very true. Yeah. And for all of our watchers out there, if you're really enjoying this program, do me a favor and hit that like button, share this broadcast so we can get some more viewers, and really share this really awesome information that we got. All right. So these questions, this is kind of more directed for you, Maria. But since you are a female in what has been for the majority a pretty male-dominant industry, has that been a challenge for you? Have you gotten better or worse treatment because of that fact?
Definitely, it takes us longer to be where we need to be. I guess depends on who's managing you. If you're under somebody because you're a female, for some reason they don't take you seriously. So you show them, you know what I'm saying? But I think the industry as it right now is changing a lot. Right now, like the past 2-3 years. Before that, no, absolutely fiasco, chaos, sexism all over the kitchen. Like it's so much. Like I can't even explain. But I think it's changing now. And I think all like our generation is changing it by a lot. So I think it's pretty good.
Yeah, I definitely would agree. There's a really lot of awesome, badass female chefs out there that probably don't get the credit that they still deserve now.
Exactly. Even for example, I work for the best female chef in Latin America when I work in Bolivia, and she always said like, "Well, it's fucking bullshit. What is like the best female? Like I'm the best. I mean, the best chef in Latin America or not? Like you know,
Right.
Point of like you know separating for no reason. Everybody's doing the same job.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, everyone starts at the same spot and has got to work their way to where they get to. It's and kind of going off of that to being Latina, was there any extra difficulties dealing with that in kitchens?
I think like at the beginning it was kind of hard because like you know like English and then there's kitchen English and like pretty much like my first year, bro, like I was googling like every ingredient for myself because I didn't want to like ask about because it's weird. Like I still know what I'm talking about, but and again, it takes you slower. Not in my case, like I've been but it takes you slower to move up, and I don't take it because like I'm very lucky that like know English. There's some people out there that don't know English or they're learning, and they are badasses, but they don't get what they need to get because they cannot communicate that well. Double one over there, but yeah, it's good. It depends on like the boss, man. Like I had the worst boss at the beginning. He thought like never like whatever, and then like I had like an awesome boss, and like he recognizes you like all the time, like, boom, boom, boom. If you work it, you deserve it. Like no matter what. That's what we should do. But yeah,
that's good.
Yeah.
And obviously the whole Latin community is really the backbone of the whole food service industry. Honestly, we would be lost without the backpack of house, our porters, and everything. It's incredible.
You have so much respect for those guys too, because they just get crushed every night.
Yeah, it's incredible, and all the stuff that they can do, it's incredible. But
it's hard to,
Now, as far as your business, Chancho King, right? Am I saying that right?
Chancho.
Chancho. I'm sorry, Chancho King.
Chancho means pork.
Okay, that makes so much sense.
In our native language.
In their indigenous language, and then it's really only used in Ecuador, really, and what? Do they use it in Colombia as well, or no? No, just in Ecuador.
It's different. Okay. Ecuador, Peru, Bolivia.
Okay. Yeah.
So how did you decide to go into business for yourself?
I always said I wanted to. I never knew what it would be, but I always wanted to open my first business by 26. Like I just was like, that's my deadline of like doing it. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I just want to do it. And
the moment that we realized we were in a honeymoon in Mexico, we're like, fuck, let's just open a sandwich shop. Like, we know how to make this pork sandwich, and it's awesome. I
already love this pork sandwich.
Yeah, every time we go to Ecuador, we go. Like that's one of the first things.
You have to go. Like if you land in Guayaquil, you have to go get sandwich del Pepe, like right away. And the first one you ever have, I literally was like, why have I never had it before? Or why is it not in Jacksonville? Why is it not everywhere? And it makes sense because it's just true to what it is. And we decided on our honeymoon. We came up with a name. We just said, hey, we're going to make sandwiches and just go from there. We were both still working our day job. We both worked at TPC, Sawgrass, where we used to work. And home of the players, and
home of the players, that's right.
And we just, started with one flea market or one little pop-up market. I was terrified, didn't know really, like I always tried to follow the right steps and got all my licensing and stuff, but pretty much I got the licensing done.
Investment was nothing.
Yeah, we invested under $2,000. It was like 1,700 in total.
Wow.
And my birthday to turn 26 was on June 6th, and we started on June 3rd. So it was like right on time. And then from there, it was just like go. You know, we haven't really honestly slowed down enough to kind of think about it yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Knock on wood that you don't slow down.
Yeah. I mean,
there's been like 2 months ago or so, we were dead. I was like, we're not gonna make it. And it's still, there's some days I'm like, oh shit, we're not gonna make it. But bills are getting away somehow. So
yeah, you work for yourself. You just keep kind of grinding, and you
like keep finding little jobs here and there, so
you
you can pay your shit.
Being a pop-up, you can kind of go anywhere. So you just kind of look for the right spot, and hopefully you hit it. And you make a lot of relationships because you're going to so many places. And like right now we have technically two locations, and that started because of the pandemic. It didn't start like I don't know where I would be if the pandemic wasn't here. We both got furloughed, and it was just like go. So now it was then became full time Chancho, and we just haven't stopped since then.
I mean, that's good.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really good.
Yeah.
So you started as just kind of like, from what I saw on social media and everything, was just kind of doing the markets and everything, and now you're in a brick and mortar, and you do both.
It was honestly just Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah, now we're inside a coffee shop in Maryhill. That's our neighborhood. We're there every day, but Monday and Tuesday, and then we're inside Arbol, the brewery in San Marco, as well every day.
Okay.
Tuesday. And other than that, because now we have one person working for us at Arbol, and Chason pop-ups on the weekends in the bars and stuff. So yeah, we're a little bit everywhere right now.
I mean, that's not a bad thing necessarily.
No,
yeah,
I always
but
said
I feel like sometimes like we're in 3 places and we make like enough money that we needed that day in 3 places. Like, God damn, like, oh my gosh, I wish she's like, got it.
Right.
People are starting to come out again. You can see, but for a while there, like no matter where you went, it just like there was 0 foot traffic no matter where. So it makes things more difficult to sell because you're trying to go to them, but nobody wants to come out.
And you can blame it.
I don't blame them at all. It's just like
right.
They trying to figure out the best option of keep on making money.
Right. I mean, it's definitely tough. I mean, with Florida being, I guess, just from what I've heard in the news, you guys know a little bit more than I do as far as the restrictions and everything. Was that a challenge of restrictions kind of going up and down for your business, or was it kind of staying steady?
Created, it was already almost a takeout, so we didn't change anything. Instead, we added online ordering, and we did like delivery for a little bit, like at the beginning of it when everybody was quarantined. But no, we didn't have to change much of it. If anything, we made it more organized, more like.
It forced us to kind of look at that side of like takeout and being able to bring it home a little bit closer. And
we just start tweaking and fixing, holding temperatures and whatnot, but.
Yeah. I mean, that's great to be able to adapt to new situations, especially something really unprecedented like this. It's been pretty incredible to see how business owners, such as yourselves, have been able to adapt to these times, these crazy times that we live in.
Yeah, you have that mentality where you just like I've always said, like, between friends, team figure it out. We're team make it happen. You just literally have to do whatever it takes, and things just kind of come about. Like with Vagabond and Will, like it started out the day the pandemic hit. He was like, "Hey man, do you want we're gonna close inside the shop. Do you want to just set up inside here and sell sandwiches?" And I was like, "Yeah, I think I could start on like Friday, Saturday, and figure it out from there." And then that first Friday, Saturday went by, and we crushed it. And he was like, "Dude, I think you should set up every day in here if you can." And I was like, "Okay, I need 1 day off a week so I can keep my sanity." And I was like, "I'll be here every other day than that." And then we just literally just went Tuesday through Sunday. Every day I was there all day, just making sandwiches.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I mean, that's kind of a standard, I guess, for any restaurant or even line cooks or anything. It's if something goes wrong, you just figure it out, make it work, That's just the option of not doing it. That doesn't exist.
I don't want our clientele or customer base to see a negative impact and or get a bad product. Like that's terrifying to me. I hate it when even myself when I go out and get to-go food, and that's been the thing this whole pandemic is everybody has to make to-go
even
food.
If it's to-go, like you have to keep it good.
But it has to be on point. I want them to get the same sandwich they would get from me in front of me at a pop-up as they would when they bring it home and open it up later.
Like we were doing this thing called like Feast every week, and it was like we only cook the foods that we know it was gonna hold good. Yeah. But even then, like we stopped doing it because it's like it's still like it's delicious and awesome, but it's not the way it should be. The sandwich is easy to do it, but like a nice food platter, no, like it should be.
We have a couple bartenders in town that when we set up at their bar, they'll get it completely deconstructed. They get every single thing like pieced apart, like all those ingredients I just showed you in the cooking demo. They'll get everyone separate, and then when they get home, I've told them how to make it, and then they put it together themselves, and then they eat it, so they have it that way. It's kind of crazy. Yeah,
that's a really cool way to do it for sure.
Yeah. And it was by their preference. Like they didn't they were like, hey, we love it the way you always make it and it's great. They're like, but it pretty much sits from, till 4 a.m. If we could just get it, we'll just do it ourselves if we don't mind. And I was like, heck no, like, let me know how it works out. And then from there they were like, dude, that was, so yeah, it's pretty cool.
That's great. Are there any things that you guys like miss, pros or cons about like not working the line anymore? A lot of cooks like, you miss that excitement, that rush.
We both look at each other all the time. I'm like, I miss cooking.
I miss the rush. I miss the line. I miss not knowing what's gonna happen.
I miss service.
I miss service.
So, yeah.
We have services with a pop-up because you definitely get busy.
Yeah, but it's completely
but
different.
It's not cooking on a line. Yeah, it's not
a line.
Right.
Service.
No.
Yeah.
I miss service so much.
Yeah, tell me about it. I do too.
I know.
I'm sure there's so many around our country, around the world right now. There's just you're like thinking the same. Man, I just want.
I know it's.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely tough for a lot of people right now, but we're all surviving as best we can.
I will say anybody out there that wants to try, like I got multiple friends that are cooking out like for themselves, for people.
They cook like once a week. It's like our friend did barbecue today.
We went and got his barbecue. It was great. And I was like, and that's how we started, and I'm saying they can do it. Anybody that's out there that thinks they can, they should try.
Again, our investment was nothing, getting a license and everything.
Right.
And you can
it's quite easy. You have to work a lot, but it's not. I mean, hard.
It's not impossible.
It's not impossible, and the hardest part is actually just making that leap and believing in yourself.
Yeah, just doing
terrifying. Even right now, we're terrified 24/7.
Right, I'm sure. Hey, I mean, you fooled me. You guys are crushing it from what I can see, and the food looks awesome. So, I mean, you're doing it,
Yeah.
So, like, what? Can you say what?
Go ahead.
Hey, puppy.
I want to be a part of it.
That's okay. Most dogs do. So, obviously, it's pretty well known that if you know any line cook or anyone who works in the industry, that it is pretty difficult to work in. Why would you guys say that it is so difficult? Like, what's one of the more difficult parts of like working in our industry?
To work in the industry?
Just to work in the industry, not necessarily being a line cook, but
I don't think it's difficult. I think it's a matter of compromise more than anything. Like compromise to you're never gonna have weekends off. Compromise, you have to work holidays, and like once you know that, like it's no surprise, because it's not.
Right.
Then you're good. I think it's all about work ethic. To like cooking is easy. Everybody can do it. It's just having that backbone to like have just. If you begin, be humble, like just listen and learn and then go. That's it.
Yeah.
Just have good work ethic.
I think it takes a certain bit of like grit too. You gotta be able to, you gotta be able to be willing to fail,
And fail.
And fail.
Yeah.
work
That's
so
that's
and still
that's definitely a good tip.
come back.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
being a cook is like sometimes, not all the time, because it's not a good thing, but like figure it out on the spot in 5 seconds because somebody fucked up on the line. You know, like that's part of it. It's not everything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, compromise and knowing that you're going to fail and having thick skin about it and just kind of keep pushing is.
I used to have like some of my bosses. It was cool because at Orsay, the owner would work side by side with us, but at least once or twice a week on the line. Like he would be my like plating for me, and you know he burnt into me like, put aside your pride. If you don't say you need help, I'm not going to help you. You know, and until you're like that far down the shits, and then he has to take over, and then it's just like it's terrible. You know, you don't want to put yourself in that position, but it has happened. And once you get through those, like you get through those failures a couple times, and you're like, all right, I know my limits. I know when I need to ask for help, and then things just really start to work, and you have a great service, and you're like, this is why I do it. You know, like this is. You see every single person that came to that building left, you know, like they forgot about the world was existing outside of that place. And that is like, it's pretty nice. Pretty good feel, like good feeling.
Yeah, I definitely agree. There's definitely something to say. That was always my favorite part of working the line is really the camaraderie with like, you know, your brothers and sisters in the trenches, and you gotta, even if it's terrible and you're all just,
you know, between cooks, like you can like look at it and be like, okay, I know exactly what you need. Like,
yeah, of course. Is there anything that if there was one thing that you could change about the industry, what would that be?
I would say
pay.
Yeah, I would say equality. Just period, equality.
Yeah.
Everybody be on a very equal playing level and treating each other with respect. And pay, like the pay. So many people they cannot live.
It's a hard job. Like it's not an easy job, and you get paid shit times. Most of the time.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's the pay. Obviously, like we all know the
downfalls
of being a line cook and still having to work, 14, 18 hours a day.
100%. Yeah.
But it won't. You're gonna keep seeing bad stories come out just because there's just too many people that want to be on top and they abuse their power.
Yeah. So what's the best and worst part about being a chef? Like not necessarily industry, but just being a chef.
I don't know. I necessarily don't know where I would be if I wasn't a cook. My whole life is so based around food and cooking that I don't know what I would be doing without it.
I don't know how to do anything else, but that's not
so. Would you say the best part?
The best part is, that satisfaction of being able to do something that someone else cannot, and them enjoying it. That's probably my favorite part. And the worst part is firing people. I hate firing people. I think, and I haven't been a manager for a long time, but I feel like that it really sucks.
I would imagine.
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I would, because the long hours don't really even bother me. I don't know. Yeah.
The compromise, I guess, like knowing that. No, for real, like knowing that you're missing like your family 24/7. Like you're not like spending time with your family at all, or anybody that has regular jobs.
Yeah, a lot of people go out and we don't really go out because
I'm like, oh, we're like having this shit on Sunday. I'm like, oh, cool, I'm brunching on Sunday, but I'm working it. Cool. Like stuff like that. Again, knowing that is but missing time with family, I guess, would be the worst part.
Yeah, I mean that's definitely a tough one. I mean, even if you have family that don't live in the state or don't live in the country, it's definitely really hard to get that time off to actually just be able to go see them. Yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, and here in the States, we don't take enough vacations.
Amen to that.
Yeah.
We definitely don't. I mean, speaking of time and not being able to make time for family, but for you guys of meeting in culinary school and dating through like you're at the beginning of your careers, how did you balance that with your love life and your work life?
Well, we always worked different places, so we were never together.
I think it was honestly, I know it's gonna be weird, but I think it was honestly easier because we both understood how much time our career takes of us, and like we will go home and hang out from 10 to 2 in the morning or 3, and that was cool. I was also very young. I can't do that without dying the next day. But like knowing like both of our careers through and through like makes a difference, like understanding each other.
Yeah, no, we know what we're going through and going through like openings and stuff like that. You're not gonna have a day off for 3 months.
Obviously,
straight,
we always talk about work though.
Yeah.
Like maybe it's not healthy, it works for us, but we 24/7 talk about work. Yeah. Even if it wasn't before. Yeah.
We created a thing. I'm sure you remember Therapy Tuesdays, just to kind of get like cooks together and to bullshit together so that we can kind of unload and that way it wasn't always like having to hear the bad side of service, or whatever it may be.
Yeah, that's always, I'm sure it's like this for pretty much any industry, but I know if there's any time a group of line cooks get together, if there's someone there who's not in the industry, they're not going to say a word because they just can't get anything in.
On the corner, it's like, and it's inevitable sometimes, bro. Like you just like, I don't want to be rude at all, but it's just like you get caught up, and then it's 3 hours just talking about everybody's service.
Right.
Stories. There's millions of stories. There's always something crazy.
Yeah.
Of course. So do you have any advice for the singles in the industry if they're trying to find love and want to try to make it work while they're still grinding away till 2 a.m.?
Communicate. I mean, that would be communication. I think that's good for any relationship, period. But
24/7.
Yeah. Just everything. We always had a rule: never go to bed like mad. If we both, sometimes we both come home heated from work, and then it just continues on. And then we, try and figure it out before we go to bed or some shit like that. And honestly, like she said, it helps to have somebody in the industry.
Try to find yourself in the industry.
Even if they're front of the house, there's someone that understands your side of the things.
Or somebody that has been through the industry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or at least like retail, something where it's like you understand.
Like customer service, just having a understanding how it is to deal with people on a daily basis.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. Yeah, it's definitely tough for, cooks to find time for that kind of stuff that's on like a Monday or Tuesday that they usually have off or like super late at night.
Yeah, and we built a lot of our like friends and family through the industry as well. Like we hung out, we did barbecues with the people that we worked with, and kind of built a friendship family around that because they also all understand what we're going through and the fact that we can do this maybe once a month or however far it may be. Especially the pandemic, we used to throw barbecues like every month, and now we haven't thrown one. It's all year.
Right. Yeah, we used to do a small little like dinner every like Sunday night before we'd have to, or not Sunday, Tuesday nights before our next week would start.
Yeah.
And so, we try to end our weekend on a good note, feeling good for that next week that we knew was most likely going to be hell. Mm-hmm. So.
Exactly. Yeah. You just try and.
Yeah.
Hey.
Hey.
Yeah, it's definitely. Sorry, I lost my spot here. So, like you said, a lot of the industry definitely is changing from what it used to be. It's not quite as violent, I suppose, as it used to be for some stuff. But there is kind of a push right now for getting rid of the whole yes chef culture, and like the title of chef is like a little too much. Like, what does the title of chef mean to you guys, and like what kind of status does that hold? And like, yeah, what does it mean to you guys to be titled as chef?
I never call myself a chef, like I've never before.
Yeah, I've always tried to say I'm a cook.
But like, I don't, like at the same time, it's nothing. Like it's not like it's nothing, but it's like, for me, it's not necessary. Like if I'm like, you know, even if I'm the owner of this stuff, and you're like,
a cook is a cook at the end of the day. To me, a chef, I definitely respect a chef.
Yeah.
Like,
but what defines what a chef as a cook? Is that what you're trying to ask?
Or how
yeah, I mean, if there's a difference between the two, like how would you define that difference?
I don't think there is a difference.
I mean, we both came up in the yes chef mentality.
Yeah.
And very
much so.
And I think being a manager, you kind of learn that that's not always the answer, because I have very definitely made so many mistakes, and I am glad that my counterpart or like my person underneath me told me, hey, you're wrong. You know, like this is how it should be, or like, hey, that you handled that wrong.
Like, you know, if I'm working for somebody and that person works like that, I'm gonna do it like that. But at the same time, I don't think it's correct. No, absolutely not. If somebody has always a better way to do something, they can try it, and we try it. And if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Yeah, there is always room for that.
But I think even if you just use chef as like a person in charge, the leader, you know, like that helps, because you can say this one person is my chef. This is the person that I listen to. Someone else tells me otherwise, I'm gonna either go to them or I'm gonna say no. You know, like I'm gonna be like, you know, I'll figure it out, but I'm gonna make sure it's okay with this person first, which is the chef.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, I've worked in places where the title of chef like wasn't even a thing. Yeah. No one really like had it. And then I worked in places that everyone was chef. Everyone called each other chef. Even like my roommates here now, like my buddy Addison, like we always just call each other chef. It's like, what do you need, chef? Just in the house. That's just like how we do it. And when the first time I became like a sous chef at a place, I called everyone chef, and I wasn't trying to do that to get it to back on me. I just like,
and that's cool.
In my opinion, yeah.
Because everybody's a chef. Everybody's cooking.
Right.
You know.
Exactly. And that was.
And I agree with you. Like everybody's a chef. I 100%. But like, for me, like it's not necessary. Like if you want to, that's cool. If you don't want to, that's cool too. The guest chef, and I'm just gonna do what the chef says. Is to an extent good, because there has to be some leadership. But again, there's always lots of room for improvement. If somebody has better ideas, they should be confident and to share. You know.
Yeah. No. Yeah. If you suppress someone's ideas, you're just never going to get any better.
Yeah.
And
absolutely.
But then again, at the same time, like I told you before, I was like, there's some cooks that just don't need to voice their opinion. You know? Let the chef do his job and just, you know, do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's definitely a time and place, and some people don't know how to find that line, but
it's funny to watch it go.
It is pretty funny. Yeah, that's pretty funny. And I'm sure, you know, we've all been there. I know I've spoken up when I definitely should not have spoken up, and
24/7
got shot down really hard. So it's, you know, it's part of the process.
Yeah.
But
like I'm so quiet now because I literally have told me to shut up so many times. I'm not saying anything unless somebody's asking me.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Which is fine.
So do you guys have like, it's kind of a tricky question to ask, but like we've all had really just terrible services, you know, where you just go down really hard, but usually there's like a little positivity, a little nugget of like, well, at least I did this right, and it was an okay service just because of that. So do you have like a good memory of just like a terrible service?
When I read this question today, I thought about it for a while. I was like, all right, I have two terrible services that I don't think anything good came out of it besides the fact that I'm still alive. And one was my first day training on saute. got crushed. It was like 120 covers, and I didn't really have a trainer. He was just the middle and was just telling me what to do, and it was very, very bad. I ended up filling mushroom bisque inside of my cooler and had to throw away half of my product, and it was just very, very rough. And I remember I spent like 10 minutes in the freezer at the service, and then the opening of Hoptinger, the soft opening was probably the worst service I've ever had, just because we were not prepared. But
I mean, I've heard with openings that usually that first service you're just never prepared, even if you think you are. But
yeah, no matter what we could have done that day, I think we would just been completely destroyed.
And usually you learn the most about what you can do, or from those terrible services.
Yeah,
and I'm never doing that again.
Yeah.
I have so many terrible services, man. I can't even explain it. Like at the end, it's cool when you can fix them. You know what I'm saying? But
yeah,
I cannot tell you my worst service because I have a bunch of terrible service. So.
Those two definitely stand out for me.
I think like my worst was the latest one. It was at the end of this players tournament. And it was the day that we closed. We're like, okay, stop. Because COVID happened, right? Everybody was shutting down the court. And everybody's okay, stop prep, stop everything. And so we started organizing everything. And I had only one cook on the line. And I'm like, okay, we're serving these 4 things on the menu. We have everything. Just make sure to set it up. Because I was like saving everything and throwing away stuff and doing shit. And, you know.
Yeah.
And he was ready to an extent, but we got cropped. Like, it was like, okay, thing is closed. I was like, are we going to have service or no? It's like, yeah, only 50 people. We did 125. That never happens. And we were not ready, bro. Like, at all. Like, far from it. And I got, I didn't even got there before service and check. I got there, mid-service and just, fucking on flames already.
I think I saw 7 people on the line when it's usually 4.
Yeah, it was like what?
Yeah,
that was pretty worse. This tournament, it was going so good, man. So good. Everything was perfect, and it got canceled. And so everybody's attitude, everybody's feeling was
man. You've been to tournament,
Yeah.
Working tournament was definitely tough. I got really lucky, my first 2, because I was separated. I was in the mobile kitchens that they had for private stuff.
Was there when we were together?
Yeah. The last one that we worked together, that was the first time I was in the clubhouse kitchen with you, and that was awesome tournament. We had so much fun.
Yeah.
I mean, we had fun.
All the time. It was awesome.
Yeah. We had fun because we barely stayed in the kitchen. We'd
we'd
always just walk.
You want to go drive along? You're like, yeah.
Yeah, we just grab a drink and just walk around the tournament while it's happening, and then make it back to prep for the dinner.
Coming back to Europe for a little bit, and then went back.
Yeah. That was definitely a fun time.
Yeah. Sometimes.
That was fun. All right, so
go ahead.
What's that? No, say what you're going to say.
I was only mad because we didn't get to work the full amount of the full week that we were supposed to. We were on track to work. My goal is to always work more hours than the previous year, and I was certainly on track to work over 100 hours. And I was like, no, I didn't get to.
I feel like the last tournament I worked, it was I worked 40 hours. It felt like. That's not true, but I know we worked more than that, but that's what it felt like because we were just we were just goofing off all week, and we just had a good time. We got everything done. That was the important part. We knew what we were doing to.
That's what we
off when we needed to.
We pre-planned the whole thing.
Right? Yeah. We're we know if we're back in the kitchen by this time, we'll have plenty of time to get the food out, and we'll okay. It was fine, but. All right, so we're a little over an hour now, so I guess I'll ask my last question of the night. And not really a question, but do you have any words of wisdom for any home cooks out there who want to get better, or young cooks who are just getting into the industry?
Let's see, wisdom or advice. I mean, yes, I would say always keep a standard if you're going to be a young cook coming into this industry. Try and work for the best, and
try to work for you think is the best.
Yeah. Try and and see what else for home cook. Just use quality ingredients, use local, buy from the farms around you because they put love into their food, and truly you can taste it because you're going to end up putting love into your food. And I mean,
you're going to care.
You're going to care more because they care about it. We get a weekly CSA now from a farm that's like 20 minutes from us. And I've built a nice relationship with those two farmers. It's a husband and wife, and they're, I would consider them friends. They came to our wedding. They're good people, and they try really hard just to grow good vegetables, which is pretty awesome. Yeah.
Do you have any recommendations as far as like cookbooks for beginners or home cooks? Like any cookbooks you would recommend people check out?
Cookbooks.
The Flavor Bible. The Bible Flavor.
Flavor Bible is good.
Yeah, that's a good one.
It's such a good one. Yeah.
That is a good one. I enjoy that.
A fun one. It's The Devil in the Kitchen is very fun, but
Young Cooks, Devil in the Kitchen by Marco Pure White.
It's just fun book to read.
That's pretty interesting. And it just depends on kind of what you want to cook, but look for someone who goes into the basics of what they love doing, and you're gonna get good recipes out of it. If the stories that they have in the cookbook are talking about their childhood and how they grew up eating those things, I think the recipes that they put into that book are probably going to be a lot better too.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, that's all the questions that I have for you guys. So thank you so much for joining me tonight. I really appreciate it. It was really nice to talk to you guys and see you guys again. It's been a while.
Next time we'll see you.
Hopefully we get to see each other before then.
Yeah, hopefully I'll be able to make it down to Jacksonville at some point. But thank you guys so much again. Thank you, anyone out there who's watching. Again, if you really enjoyed this broadcast, hit that like button, subscribe to my YouTube channel, share it with anyone you know, all that stuff. Check out, I'm going to say it wrong. I keep wanting to say Chancho King. I know it's not that. Check them out on Instagram, Facebook. It's really awesome. If you're in Jacksonville, look them up. And I will see you next time, chefs. Take care and good night.
Bye.